white hairs coming in with whole face. But nah, he said them white hairs mean you seen something, say something. I'm trying to stay on my job, man. Trying to give encouragement because I know the enemy is busy, and he that's why he try to keep certain individuals on in a place of constantly warration, because as long as you warring, you don't got time to be building. You know, I remember when I used to deal with the Nation of Gods and Earth 5% Nation. Um, One time in my life, because I'm 43, and I'll be, by the grace of God, June 25th this month, I'll be 44 years old. And I remember learning in the nations of gods and earth, because not everything you learn is always all wrong, and not everything you learn is always right. So you need to learn wisdom to know the difference. But I remember being taught that we build and destroy, but you can't build and destroy at the same time. You know what I'm saying? You can't build and destroy at the same time. If you're gonna be building, you building. When you destroying, you destroying. You tearing down. You know, and we got to begin to. We come out of a place of destroying and trying to fight so much. You know, I mean, it's natural by nature. We men are fight. The first brothers, Cain and Abel, fought. You know, and I ain't gonna say that Abel fought back. I don't know if he fought back. I'm not sure, but I know he was killed by his brother Cain. So there was a, one that wanted to build and another that wanted to destroy. But either way, not getting into all that. What I'm getting into is that we got to begin to build, and we got to begin to encourage ourselves and encourage the community. We can't stay in a place of destroying and fighting so much that we allow the youth to slip through our fingers. You know, that we allow the generation and the people around us, whether it be family, friends, co-workers, blood, relatives, any of that, because now we in a society that's teaching us to operate in the fruits of the world, not the fruits of the Spirit of God. God got his own fruits. God, it says God ways are not like man ways. You know, I gotta just be real. I was looking at, my son. I was looking at my son's social media, and one of the people that he followed, and not saying nothing against the guy. You know, the guy, he's a rapper, but at the same time, he's flaunting all of this money. So it's easy for these young people to feel like, if I'm not making that bag that he got, if I'm not getting this, and if I ain't got that, and I ain't doing this, and I ain't doing that, I'm not successful. So we gotta encourage one another. These gray hairs is a trophy of my success. What do I mean? There's a lot of brothers I grew up with in our communities, growing up in the early 90s, the late 80s, early 90s. There's people that I know that died, that's gone. They not here, they not coming back. People that done got locked up and done given so many years to the penal correctional facility, that they out here now trying to get back or whatever they trying to do. But it's hard. It ain't easy when you done lost 10, 15, 20 years. You know what I'm saying? That's a big gap of your life that's gone. You'll never get that back. Even if you come out and you become successful and get some things in order, there's a whole bunch of things that have fell apart with you not being here. So we got to begin to teach our young people and teach the people, not just young, but even older brothers. It's okay, yeah, get your gray hairs. You know what I'm saying? That's a symbol of, that's a trophy of your success, making it to be older. You know what I'm saying? Back in biblical times, if you read the Bible, them men was living up into the hundreds of years. Hundreds. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we're society these days. I was having a conversation with my son. I can keep going back to that because it's like God uses certain things as a pillar for us. But it's not just about me. It's about somebody else and what they going through. So somebody out there, you got a son, somebody, you got a daughter or a family member or a friend, somebody that you trying to reach, and we can't keep using the tactics of the enemy like we dumb. The Bible says that I'm not deceived of the enemy and his devices. So why are we using the enemy devices to try to get a godly point across to our children, to our husband, our wife, to our co-workers, to anybody, man? We miss it. We miss the mark when we operate in our flesh, in our own devices, in the devil's devices, because those is his devices. Oh, apply pressure. Ain't nowhere where I read in the Bible that God is applying pressure. God is loving. God is meek. God's way is love. God's way is peaceful. God's way is long suffering. He's called us to fast and pray for our children, not just give up on them. And we live in a society now where we don't live up into the hundreds of years. But believe, I know Abraham ain't just throw his children out when they turn, when you turn 50, you out of here. You gotta go. And you get married, they was built, and you get married and you bring your family with minds, and we gonna come together. But we don't, man, it's like, it's certain things from other cultures that we should impute in our culture here. If you are an African American and you did that for a reason. This society, they could have just said, yo, you're American. I was born in America, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Allegheny County, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Allegheny County. But yet, they made it their business for my birth certificate to say, you're not just American, buddy. You're an African American, meaning I have another culture. There's more to me than just me. We trying to live off of just one culture, one way. In a funny way, like my boy said in Friday, messing these kids' heads up with these white man's holiday. Not just a white man, but it's now the black man's holiday. I see more black people go harder for holidays out here, 4th of July. You know what I'm saying? Holidays that goddamn well you can't afford, but you want to go out here and buy all of this, patriotic outfits and all this stuff that you really don't need. Oh, we're going to do a big barbecue and I got to get big bottles of liquor and we're going to celebrate. Celebrate what? What the hell are you celebrating? When you in debt and your finances is not right and your children is suffering and going through so much turmoil. But yet we quick to stick to this calendar instead of learning about our cultural calendars and learn about our cultural beliefs and principles and the fruits of the culture. Cultural fruits. I ain't talking about no more this what we've been taught growing up here. I'm talking about what is in your spirit, what you know is right. Long suffering. What has happened to the people that we can long suffer with our brothers and sisters? We just turn our backs on one another. Our own family members. Flesh and blood. Our legacy. But you talking about you want to be a part of something great. You want to be a part of something great. The devil got you believing that everything that you see is great. Everything you see ain't great. All that money that people making is not good money. That's not great money. And they're going to have to answer to that, if it's not in this life. And even if you answer for it in this life, there's some things that you're going to have to answer for in this life and in the life to come. So why compound man, I ain't trying to compound nothing for the afterlife. I'm trying to go into the afterlife with a clean slate. I already got this life and I got to get this shit together. Why would I go and put eternal sins on me? Eternal damnation. Turning your back on your children because they have at a certain age, you're not being long suffering. We as parents have allowed the system to cause us to apply pressure. We're trying to pressure our children into being who we want them to be. We're trying to manipulate our children by any means necessary into living the life that we want them to live. That is not the way of God. God said one plant, another water, but he shall get an increase. It might take years before the manifestation of God's increase come to place. But how dare us to turn our backs on our own children, on our own destiny, on our own divine destiny? You cannot turn your back on your divine destiny. You're gonna have to answer for that. But again, like I said, I ain't here to preach to you, even though they used to call me preacher man. You say, well, you trying to spit knowledge? I ain't trying to spit nothing. I'm just telling you the reality of what I see. And we got to be encouraged. You know what I'm saying? It's more of us than it is of them. Meaning it's more people that are living paycheck to paycheck, just getting by. Yeah. It's more of us than it is of these people that have sold their soul, that will stoop to any levels, have no morals, teaching that murder is okay, that hatred is okay, that evilness is okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. Allah going to see that you pay for those teachings. Jesus Christ going to see that you pay for those evil teachings. Buddha going to see that you pay for that. because it's only one God. So no matter what we call him, it's only one God. And evilness is not of his fruits, nothing like him. So that's how you making it out here, and that's the way that you choose to go. That's on you. But that shame on you, and woe unto that person and his ending. So with that being said, I'm about to get off this phone. I'm gonna go out here and go to work. You know what I'm saying? Even when I don't really feel up to it, I didn't get to shave, so I feel rough in the face. I don't feel it, but I gotta keep going. I gotta keep pushing. I can't let what other people are doing around me affect me and make me feel like, oh, I'm less than. I cannot make it. God has a blueprint for my life, but I have to follow God's blueprint. And God's blueprint is not always easy. Sometimes God's blueprint is a long suffering. Sometimes God's blueprint is something that consists of you paying a price that you're not going to want to pay. But that sacrifice that God, obedience is better than sacrifice, right? So that obedience is your sacrifice. You being obedient to the will of God, you being obedient to his will of being long suffering instead of applying manipulation and pressure towards situations and people. That's God, and God will cause a revelation to take place, and it will be a change. Because God is not a man that he shall lie. So if he did it for me, and it may take years, I still might not fully have the full manifestation of what was prophesied over my life, or what was spoken over my life, or what I believe to take place in my life. But that don't mean that I'm a failure. Only way we can fail is by giving up and quitting. And God is not a quitter. His way is long suffering. We are to endure until the end. It said the race was not given to the swift, but to the one that will endure to the end. Can you endure? That's why people are not enduring nothing, because the ones that are coming before them are teaching them to not endure. Are you following God, or are you following this man-made system? And it's obvious what we can see what people are following and the choices that they make. Let God come into you and change that situation. Let his fruits begin to change your soul and your mind and renew you. It said let it be renewed in your mind. When God start renewing you, it's nothing in this world that will take you off of what you're called to do for God and your purpose. You're gonna be moving in a purpose. My baby girl, when she passed away, I felt like that was the end of me. God had to allow certain things that I had made to be more than him not be there, just to show me, God showed me I'm greater than your daughter. I'm greater than your daughter. I'm greater than your marriage. So you could go through a divorce and still hold your head high and smile and be a happy person. You don't got to be a bitter person. You don't got to be angry. You don't got to go through life trying to hurt people. And you never know the will of God. You never know how God might turn a situation out. So why would you throw in the towel on God? That's all I'm saying. People could throw in the towel on you. You could throw in and really you shouldn't throw in the towel on people. But what I'm saying is that you have to hold on to God promises, because it's going to be God promises that's going to pull you through. It's going to be God promises that's going to make something happen in your life. So again, I'm about to go because I got to go to work. And I have to keep pushing no matter what. It could be 100 degrees outside. When it's 100 degrees, what you do? This is what I do. Let me show you what you do. Long suffering. Got my ice. I froze this the night before, so I'm going to have this in my pocket. I got cold water. I try to hydrate myself, and I go out and I pace myself. But I can't give up. My bill's not going to stop. My car insurance not going to stop. I need gas in my car right now. I'm going to have to go get gas. All these things cost money. So I have to keep pushing through. I got to push through the pain. I got to push through the suffering. If we can do this for worldly things, then why can't we do it for godly things, just so that we can see God manifest himself in our children's life, in our marriages, in our families? A lot of us is really just trying to have our will done instead of having God's will be done. People have gotten away from that. Like Jesus said, Father, he said, if it be any other way, let this cup be not my cup that I have to take. He said, but if this be your will, let your will be done. Not my will, but let your will be done. And then we got to get back to that true soldier, that true long suffering. Because had it not been for Jesus ultimately paying the price on the sin, on the cross for our sins, you know what I'm saying? We would not be able to have a place to, a way to get into eternal life, into heaven, into the pureness, and be, you know, resurrected from this corruption in this world that we live in. And if you don't think this world is corrupt, just look around you. Just look around. But I love y'all. God bless you. Preacher, man. Know what I mean? I'm out, man. I'm out. I'm going to just keep doing what I got to do, you know? Keep living and doing my best, man. Word. Y'all stay encouraged. And try to encourage somebody out there today. Try to encourage somebody that you know is pressing through a lot. Instead of being so hard and so pressured on your nieces and nephews and your children, how about trying love? How about trying love? Love is not a weak thing. It make you feel weak because you got to humble yourself. You're humbling yourself and you're searching God's heart. You're searching God's heart to find a way to reach somebody. That's not weak. That is it takes a very strong person to do that and endure that, and not to give up on their children just because they turned 18 and they have a child and they moved out of the house. No, they still gonna need them conversations. They still need guidance. Our children need us. And tell God, take my last breath. If as long as there's breath in my body and breath in my children's body, then I have a responsibility and a duty to, if nobody else, definitely to them. But I'm out of here, man. I hope this is encourage somebody, and be on the lookout for more videos. I'm gonna start speaking on different topics. I'm not gonna just stay in the little box because that's what the world want. No, I gotta speak on so many different topics that people need to. Like I said, our young people are following this hip hop culture, this rap culture, and it is destroying our children. It is destroying our nation, and all this gangster. They try to tone it down to get away from the drill, but it's still a lot of drill. It's a spirit. It's not just drill music because it comes from a spirit, and that spirit of killing your brothers, and selling drugs and robbing people and living that scam and that evil life is not the life that we need promoted in our children and in our people. We don't need a nation like that. We need a nation of people that are loving and long suffering, that will help their brothers. We should have everything in common. I don't gotta have everything. If I got something and that you lack, then you come to me so you can get some of that. And if I'm lacking something that you got more than an abundance of, then we should be able to come together. And you know what I'm saying? So that's what we should be seeing. But you got a lot of evilness. You got people that won't even help other people unless it's beneficial to them. If they're not getting nothing out of it, they don't care about the community. They exploiting the community. We call them culture vultures. That's where a lot of these cats are out here. Yeah, they grew up in the ghetto, in the inner city, right around us. So they get so much green light, and you would think that these are the ones, but they don't. They only help the people that are helping them. If these people were not working for them and their establishment and bettering their dream and what they had going on, they wouldn't give two craps. That little giving out gas once a year or whatever niggas is doing, that shit ain't enough. It's homeless people out here starving every week. Every week there's homeless. How about you organize something to where we're able to go out and feed the homeless instead of throwing people away when people's asking to be a part of something? You so quick to he want to be a part of something. He want to be, this nigga, I'm getting rid of this nigga, but you'll keep another nigga around that ain't asking you to be a part of nothing and help grow something that would be something beneficial to the community, and then he could be able to stand on his own. Like, there's so many cats that they just want to be that God, they want to be that man in the situation that they won't even put people on. They don't care. And so if it's not beneficial to them, if there's nothing they're getting out of it, they're not going to do anything. So that's why so many people right here in the state of Texas that are hungry and starving, young people that are killing each other and going to jail and struggling with their academics and struggling with this. Because when you promote a culture of violence, a culture of pimping, a culture of evilness, a culture of drugs, and a culture of pressure, manipulation by any means necessary, what you think you're going to get? And everybody coming to Texas, everybody moving to Houston. It is a beautiful place, but we got to represent. We got to stand the OGs. And you know that street life, by the grace of God, if it had not been for you having a talent to know how to rap or know how to act or whatever you did, if it wouldn't have been for that, you would be out here just like the rest of us. You don't look super better than me. I'm looking at some of these cats. I look way better than a lot of these cats. But because they got money, these females, they looking for money. They want to see this nigga that got this big ass brolic chain on and drive all these cars. All that's cool. But yo, it's a lot of people out here that's starving, man. A lot of people that's struggling, lack of education. A lot of people, a lot of young brothers that did not grow up in a home with fathers or uncles that are missing morals that need that. We need to put into place organizations that will reach the community. Not just come out here and we say a little good word because we performed and got paid some little money. Nah, everything ain't about money. Some things is about giving back to the community, really getting out here, reaching people that's dying, man. So we dying. This culture is dying. Niggas is not prospering, man. You got a lot of people that's struggling with mental health issues, mentally. Listen to you, they favorite artists. Some of y'all I ain't not even going to name, whether it be Texas, New York, Memphis. The list go on. And it's people that consider you their favorite artist, their favorite rapper. I'm glad that I grew up in a time where there was a Nas. I can actually say I benefited from Nas music. I might not have got to meet Nas. Escobar, they call him Nas Escobar, this dude from Queens. I lived not just in Houston, Texas, but I lived in Queens, New York. And I was fortunate enough to actually live on the block where Nas associated. He associated with people that he ended up hiring to not only become his bodyguards, but they was also a part of a crew that he called the Bravehearts, which is Horse and Dula. They was bodyguards. These tough niggas. I grew up around tough niggas. I didn't just grow up around tough niggas in Houston and in Texas. I also grew up around some tough niggas out in New York. Some real thoroughbreds. And some stuff ain't always about what they, actually passed on to you. Some things is just being able to be exposed to that energy or that environment or those situations. So like I said, him being, and not just him being from the block, Nas was considered, quote unquote, one of rap kings, gods. He was in a place of influentialness. So I'm glad that I grew up listening to him and I took to his music more than other artists that I could see to this day. Some of them, yeah, they might have more money, they might have more certain suave or whatever, but and some of them don't even have more money. Your boy Nas then came he done emerged out of the smoke, out of the fog, and then still ended up becoming a billionaire. Still one of the best rappers alive. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, all I'm saying is that we have to be more mindful of what we're doing and what we're passing on to people, because your legacy is all that you're going to leave behind. When you die and you going, some of y'all that are rappers and actors, y'all got a legacy. People are going to get to still kind of know of you and kind of know you. They're going to think they know you, but they're going to know of you because your music is not a direct reflection of who you are. And I know that to be true because a lot of cats is out here saying things that they really don't really, that's not what they really want. They don't really want their little brother or sister to die or overdose. You know what I'm saying? Master P had a daughter that overdosed from drugs. I know that's not what he wanted, and I'm not saying he put her on drugs, but also he lived a lifestyle. He lived a lifestyle as her father that reflected a certain life that she might have took to. And by the time he came out and he realized, but for her, she's young. These babies is young. They're affected by the damage that we do. When we do damage, that stuff really affects these children. So you might not see the fruits of what you're doing to these children right now, but when you get older, you're gonna see. I'll be seeing stories. These two dudes, they try to kill their parents. I'm like, what the hell? Like, and then half of these children, they were young men, but they children, babies. Like, yo, y'all ain't even threw y'all whole life away. These two brothers. This story I had heard about, and then I'm like, it's just sad, man. Like I said, we got to do better, man. We got to do better as a community. So, anyways, I'm about to go. I love y'all. If I didn't love y'all, I wouldn't have spent the little time that I spent to try to tell y'all the stuff I tell y'all. I could actually just be like, you know what? Like most people, if it ain't affecting me and it don't have nothing to do with me and mine, I don't care. I ain't going to say nothing. I'm minding my business. I don't want people to think I'm out here trying to spit knowledge. I want to be considered one of the biggest gangsters and killers of all time. That's what the people trying to promote. We got all types of people mixed in our society right now. You know, people coming from other countries that don't belong here. And I don't say they don't belong here because they just don't belong here. But if you got here the wrong way, and not only that, but you do hate black Americans. You know, some people that's coming over here, they don't hate America. They don't hate white America. They hate black America because there's now a black America. So there's African Americans. That's a fact. They hate us. There's people coming over here that purely hate black people, and they not screening none of these people to find out how do you feel about African Americans, because that we are a major part of this community and society here in America, but yet they moving people in here that hate us, that don't want to live around us, hate us. And I know it because I see it and I experience it every day. And I see how certain people, certain races, and I don't want to just single out any race. So I'm not gonna say a race right now, but I know what I see out here in Houston. I know what I see coming from this in particular one race in their community be coming at us. But anyways, I gotta go, man. My phone ringing. I gotta go.